Here's your wrestling news for January 14th, 2022. And your headlines for today include bad news for major WWE plans for WrestleMania 39, WWE using bold strategy for the 2022 Royal Rumble event, AEW has major struggles during second Dynamite on TBS, Charlie Haas opens up about injury after being stretchered away during Impact tapings, Impact Wrestling looking to sign 22-year WWE veteran after recent release, wrestlers falling for scams promising free items to get their accounts hacked, another SmackDown superstar is injured, who else will miss the Royal Rumble? NWA star celebrates huge accomplishment after difficult 2021, and more. We are kicking off today with the Universal Champion Roman Reigns, whose dominant reign with the title has surpassed 500 days. Reigns has defeated every opponent put against him, but one person that hasn't crossed paths with him yet is The Rock. For years, it's been rumored that the two will one day face off, with the current rumor being that their collision will happen at WrestleMania 39, which will appropriately be in Hollywood. Now, though, that match is in serious jeopardy thanks to the Great One's incredibly busy schedule making movies. Recently, it was announced that The Rock will once more team with Ryan Reynolds and Gal Gadot for back-to-back sequels of Red Notice, their hit film which was distributed by Netflix last year. With Red Notice, the most watched film on Netflix, it's no wonder it's getting sequels, but reports have suggested that the filming of these back-to-back sequels will go way into 2023, at the same time as WrestleMania 39. As a leading man in Hollywood who cannot risk being injured, the match with Reigns was always a rumor that WWE could not confirm, and these Red Notice sequels are bad news for fans who want to see the two collide next year. Later this month, WWE will host their Royal Rumble, but the show hasn't been a sellout affair. Despite huge returns and 2 Rumble matches, WWE are once more relying on seat fillers to make the show feel sold out. In an advertisement obtained by Fox 2, WWE is looking for able-bodied adults willing to show up hours in advance. These fans will be given free tickets, but there's no guarantee that groups will be seated together, and these seat fillers will be moved throughout the show. This will happen if a seat on the hard cam is empty, and the advert states that masks will need to be worn at all times. It's worth mentioning that seat fillers is not a concept only used by WWE, but has been used in plenty of sports and entertainment shows for decades to give the illusion of a packed audience. A few days ago, WrestleTix reported that 26,000 of the 29,976 seats for the show have been sold, an impressive number given the ongoing situation. Between Hall of Fame returns and 2 Rumble matches, which are always popular, WWE is kicking off the road to WrestleMania with a bang. But despite appearances, this won't be a sold-out show. WWE has been struggling to fill arenas for some time now, but they're not the only company who are having these problems. During this week's Dynamite, a fan in attendance snapped a photo during the entrance for World Champion Adam Page, showing multiple sections which were entirely empty. AEW has always sold themselves as an alternative to WWE, and despite the huge support the company has obtained over the past 3 years, this didn't lead to seats being sold at Dynamite's second show on TBS. What makes this worse is that this week's Dynamite was AEW's debut in Raleigh, North Carolina, which is considered a wrestling town, but even this didn't help AEW's chances at this week's joint taping of Dynamite and this Friday's Rampage. On Twitter, fans speculated as to why Dynamite looked far smaller than AEW's premiere show usually looks, and now we know why. At the latest round of Impact tapings, Charlie Haas made his debut for the company by facing Josh Alexander in a match that didn't quite go as planned. After the match, the former WWE Tag Team Champion was stretchered to the back, and Haas himself has now explained what went wrong. Issuing a statement on Twitter, Haas said that during the match he slipped and his head caught Alexander's knee and the ring rope at the same time, calling it a freak wrestling accident. Haas added that he suffered a concussion as a result, but he'll be fine, and for the first time in over 5 years, will be taking bookings across the US in 2022. We're glad to hear that Haas will be fine after this concussion and is clearly not done with Impact, who he said treated him excellently backstage. A lot has changed in the world of wrestling over the last 5 years, and fans can expect to see a lot more of the former WWE Tag Team Champion. Speaking of Impact, the company is host to plenty of former WWE superstars thanks to the past 2 years of releases, with Mickie James, Brian Myers, Matt Cardona, The Inspiration, and Good Brothers all calling the company home. Now, another veteran of WWE may be Impact-bound, as the company is interested in signing William Regal. On Busted Open Radio, Impact producer Tommy Dreamer said how he has offered Regal a job, either as an on-screen authority figure like during his NXT run, or at the commentary table. Throughout Impact's entire run of nearly 2 decades, Regal worked for WWE, but was aware of the company, scouting talent from the company that would eventually come to Vince McMahon's promotion. There's no word on what kind of non-compete clause, if any, Regal is under, but if he is facing the traditional 90-day clause, he won't be able to sign until April 5th. With his decades of experience, Regal would be an invaluable asset to Impact Wrestling, and being released due to being close to Triple H, it'll be interesting to see what he does next. If you've spent enough time online, you'll have come across scams on social media, and as of late, wrestlers have fallen victims to these sort of scams. AEW's Lance Archer recently set his Twitter account to private after it was seized by hackers, and we know more about the scam that's duping these athletes. According to Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful, wrestlers are being duped by an offer of free shoes, and on the scammer's site are putting in their social media login details, which are subsequently stolen. In addition to Archer, Bray Wyatt and Omos have also had their accounts hacked, showing this isn't a problem just for AEW talent. Now that we know how these scammers work, hopefully wrestlers won't be duped by free shoes, as if something on the internet seems too good to be true, it usually is. Recently, WWE has been plagued by injuries and absences, with Sasha Banks, Drew McIntyre, and Intercontinental Champion Shinsuke Nakamura all being sidelined. Now, yet another name is on the shelf, as Xavier Woods has publicly disclosed he's dealing with a calf injury. Making the announcement on G4 TV's Attack of the Show livestream, the reigning King of the Ring said that he got injured when hitting a DDT outside the ring, and that he'll be out for 4 to 6 weeks with a torn plantaris. This means Woods will miss the Men's Royal Rumble match, and at this time, WWE has not commented on his injury or his absence from programming. Woods' last match was on the January 7th SmackDown, where he and Kofi Kingston challenged the Usos, but were unsuccessful in their efforts to regain the SmackDown Tag Team titles. The 2022 Royal Rumble is shaping up to be a massive, premium live event, with Big E the favorite to win the Men's Rumble match, but Xavier Woods won't be there to see this happen. And we're ending with Kylie Rae, who in October last year openly discussed her personal problems, which had forced the indie wrestler to pull out of several shows. 2 months later, Rae made her debut for the NWA at Hard Times 2, and she's now celebrating a huge milestone. On Twitter, Rae announced that she's been sober for 90 days, saying she's grateful with a picture of her 90-day badge. Kylie Rae is taking each day as it comes, and it's certainly paying off, and we want to congratulate the NWA star on this great achievement. Well guys, that's our news for today. Please share your comments below. Also hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to receive all notifications. And as always, thanks for watching.